think the foods that you're given while in hospital for during the hospital stay, they are healthy food? Because
why do you have to go there?
No, I'm just wondering.
You know the truth. Why do you have to go there?
Mostly tasteless. Yeah. They don't have too much taste, and then we are forced not to even eat it, and if instead get something from outside. Yeah. So they're feeding us to keep us there.
You mean ganja?
Pretty much, but the medicinal
smoke ganja. You can smoke ganja and you'll be okay. I wonder if it's not because they know about this, the doctors, or if it's because they're just they just want to treat the symptoms that present in the hospital, and they don't have time to do other things or other shenanigans that comes with this sickle cell. It shows that Jaden doesn't care about organic. He doesn't even know what it's called.
I mind you, just because I can't think about the name right now, don't mean I don't use it.
He's trying to demonstrate
because what I put in all my smoothies and juices, you've not told me one thing you've actually changed since you've been listening.
Didn't you hear what he said? You have to be ready. Anyway, everything about you is opposite, so I'm not surprised.
You're funny. The process of taking the morphine out is called withdrawals, and withdrawing from morphine can be extremely time consuming and painful.
What do you mean by time consuming? Hi everyone, welcome back to Health in Color Pod. We are SXW, Sickle Cell Warriors, and we talk about diseases that affect people in the BAME community, especially sickle cell. Jaden, do you want to throw light on what we do?
Well, you really just already said it, to be quite fair. But Anna, welcome back. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
How you been? Good?
I'm good, yeah. So if you go back to the previous episode, you'll find out why we've taken this long to come back. And we do apologize again.
Once again, we are Sickle Cell Warriors Health in Color Podcast. My name is Jaden Ido Akinyosade, and my beautiful co-host is
Hannah Eza, as always.
Yeah, we're here today with a wonderful friend. But before we start, I just want to say, if you are new to this channel, again, we're SSW Health in Color Podcast, and we speak about everything Sickle Cell Warriors, everything Sickle Cell awareness, and everything to do with invisible illnesses or illnesses that affect people in the BAME community. If you've not yet joined us before, please tune into our YouTube channel, HealthInColorPod. On Instagram and on TikTok is SSW HealthInColorPod. Color with no U. Color with no U.
Color with no U.
That's why we're very distinct. Actually.
Is it British? American? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So welcome, Shane.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me again. I really appreciate it.
I want to introduce who you are.
I am Shane, founder of MACQUES Nutrition, and it's a business that just basically wants to celebrate people's quality of existence and allow them to be in less pain, less discomfort, and find their power back through an holistic standpoint. And I do coaching, close coaching with people, group coaching, live events, products, and other services. But yeah, that's a bit about me. You can find me on MACQUES Nutrition, MACQUES Nutrition on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
Yeah, we'll put it down for people to see.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Before we really continue, if you've not seen our previous episode where we had Shane on, it's also on our YouTube channel. Unfortunately, when we had Shane on, we didn't realize that we had
technical issues.
We had a lot of technical issues. We had issues with the picture and we had issues with the sound quality. And so this is why we brought Shane back again, so we can talk about where we left off from. And before we start talking about where we left off from, he's going to do a little introduction about what we spoke about in the previous episode. Well, you're free to go back and watch it. A lot of people still watch it, and they really had a lot of information given to them in it, and they were very happy about it. So well done, Shane. Thank you so much again.
Thank you for coming again. People had a wow moment while watching that.
Yeah.
Especially me.
Yeah, and also we had him at our Sickle Cell Warriors Awareness event in October. Yeah, it was a games night, and he spoke again there, and a lot of people were also wowed. A lot of people got a lot of information from it, and he's doing great and amazing things. So please don't forget to check him out in his Instagram. All right.
Thank you
Anna,
so much.
yeah.
Thank you for coming. So, the first question is, can you explain how nutrition plays a role in managing sickle cell disease?
Well, it plays a huge role. You know, it's really overlooked. And I'll actually put some money down to say that sometime in the future, I'm talking maybe a few years, sickle cell is going to be seen as something that is closely tied to nutrition, very closely. And when I say that, I mean in terms of celiac disease or diabetes, because of the amount that it does affect the blood and blood flow. Right now, there's not so much that's being done. There is a lot of work in the background being done. For instance, with a certain doctor, Dr. Claudie Matthews, she's doing amazing work, and he's getting certain dietary requirements and just so basically dietitians, they have a certain book that they read when it comes to the knowledge that they get and the knowledge that they give. So there's going to be a certain book, and there's going to be a new passage in there about sickle cell and diet.
Oh, amazing.
So,
Wow.
it's
Looking forward to that.
in terms of nutrition, it's so important, very very important. Like, because if you don't have good blood flow, then you're gonna have more pain and discomfort.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
Honestly, to be quite fair, when you came the last time, if you saw my expression from that episode, you know that I was surprised about a lot of things that Shane said. We might have heard it before, but not in that kind of light and not in relation to sickle cell. And so I did make a conscious effort to work on my diet. And as a result, I started doing a few of the things that you said, you know, particularly in the pay more attention to fruit and veg and using more super foods and like turmeric and things of those natures in my juicing. In my juicing, and it's made it's made tremendous difference to me, and it's even shown in. Although I had to spend a little time in hospital earlier this year, coming out is shown in the amount of how I was able to drastically reduce my weight when I came back out from hospital. Because unlike some other people that might suffer with sickle cell, when I go into hospital, I gain weight. Obviously,
is that
I'm a
from
very
water
active.
retention?
I don't know if it's water retention. It might be because I drink a lot and I'm not moving as much as I would do normally. You know, but it just kind of peeves me that other people lose weight, but I gain weight. So I've always found that anyway with me, that this thing.
By the
But
way,
it's
everything
helped.
about you is opposite, so I'm not surprised.
You're funny, very funny, Anna.
I'm glad you was able to see
yeah. So thank you so much. We continue to take the advice that we hear on this channel to try and better ourselves, because we can't tell people to do certain things if we're not doing them. So thank you so much for that. Okay, we'll go on to the next question. How can someone with sickle cell disease maintain a balanced diet if they have limited appetite or deal with pain frequently?
It's a good question. So, I mean, there were similar patterns in terms of when I first started in struggling to keep that up. And I can only talk of what I done as well as what I do for my clients. Like, it's not going to fit for everyone. However, there are things that you can do. For instance, batch cooking. Getting things and preparing it. So if you are in pain, you don't have to go through that whole preparation time now. You can just take something out of the fridge or the freezer. Another thing will be, if you don't have an appetite, look at certain juices and smoothies. Again, you can make that before time. You can freeze a smoothie. The smoothie's going to last in the freezer 2 to 3 weeks, and it's still going to have good amount of nutrients.
Of course,
so if you don't have an appetite, let's say you freeze a smoothie that's going to have, a lot of beet fiber and just the things that is going to actually fuel your cells. If you're feeling down, your energy's low, but you don't want to eat, that drinking that, you're still going to get so many minerals and the magnesium, the calcium, potassium, all these the electrolytes, all these things that we know is needed on a day-to-day basis. So it's about preparing whilst you are well for the times that you're unwell.
To be honest, that is actually it's good advice for all sickle cell patients, whether it be with diet or in your work-life balance. I think it's just something that's very necessary, because we don't always have that longevity all the time. Sometimes obviously our energies are low, we are in pain, we're not able to do as much as we would like to. So when you can, prepare things in time, it definitely would help.
For sure. Then at least you don't have to be strained in certain ways, like knowing that, oh my days, I've got to make time to eat. And there are certain healthy food shops as well that you could order from.
Okay.
You know, even healthier foods, let's say, for instance, even if you wanted to go down the route of something that's still high in protein, like a chickpea curry or something, or falafel wrap, or, you know, just a vegetable roti, something that you know is, whilst you're ill, you're still going to be fueling yourselves with something that's not too unhealthy.
Okay.
You know, it's about making those kind of choices. And one thing for me was like, okay, I'm already unwell. Doesn't matter if I'm going to eat this because I'm already unwell. But if
You might as well.
Right, that's the mindset.
That's the mindset sometimes. Yeah.
But like when you do those kind of things, it's going to take longer for you to actually recover and get to the stage where, because you're, again, when you're in sickle cell crisis, you know there's not enough oxygen flow to your blood. So let's say you're snacking on ultra processed foods, which we know, again, is going to make your blood flow less, and it's going to lower your immunity. These things have been shown, you know. So if you're already unwell, you're just lengthening the recovery time by eating all these unhealthy foods.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not just for anyone with sickle cell.
Yeah.
I think this is for everyone, to be honest. Even the meal prep sometimes are really, you're so busy that you can't even go to the kitchen.
That's
and
right.
you just snack. But if you prepare all these things well in advance, it helps you not snack and just
that's
grab
right.
and go.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're still talking about lifestyle and practical advice. So what are some easy, affordable meals, like for affordable meals ideal for family managing sickle cell, especially during painful episode and hospital visits?
Or hospital stays.
Yeah, hospital stays. Yeah.
So that's a bit of a tough one. I mean, it comes down to similar things that we kind of touched on in terms of knowing the places that you can go that you're going to get healthier foods. Or even if you know someone, like a lot of us in our family, we have really good cooks in our families, right?
Yep.
And some of them might not be the furthest living from us or the furthest away from the hospital.
Yeah.
Instead of spending that £20 at like, or okay, if it's going to be a KFC meal, maybe like a £12, £11. I don't know. Instead of spending that, maybe give it to your family and you know the ingredients that's going to be in it. Ask them first, obviously, are you able to bring this type of food? Where something healthy, something that's not going to take too long.
That's right.
Because yes, there might be inconvenience, but they're getting paid for it.
Of course.
Instead of the money that's going to these big conglomerates, but then you know it's unhealthy as well. You're getting a healthier dish. So it's about who you have around you.
Your support system.
Yes, exactly. And building that beforehand. So it's all about the work that we can do before we get to that stage where we are in hospital. But looking at what you can do about these things, and again, even if you was able to have smoothies in your freezer, and if you know someone who has your keys or whatever, you could be like, yeah, can you help me bring this to the hospital so I can have it once a defrost?
Yeah. That is quite difficult because so many people with sickle cell battle with not knowing who to trust will be able to see them the same way when they tell them they've got sickle cell. And sometimes when you're in crisis, you just want to deal with this pain alone in the hospital because that is the most vulnerable time of your life, and it's not everyone you're able to get in your space. So people with sickle cell do not know how to build that community that they can trust to the extent of saying, please, can you cook for me and bring to the hospital for me, because they don't want to be seen that way.
I get you, because you know, in terms of sickle cell, some people don't want to be too upfront in that sense because it might be like they might treat you like a victim. But if it's someone you truly love, you know, you can actually bring these things up. And a lot of that kind of battle is within our minds anyway.
Yes,
we never really know if that person is going to feel that way until we have that conversation.
Yes, exactly.
But when you are in sickle cell crisis, a lot of us do crave that sugary stuff and all the quick stuff. Mainly because, you know, the morphine, for instance, it will change your taste buds. It's gonna make you crave something differently, you know, like that you might not be having. The morphine, because we know it, even that coating on the tongue. I don't know if you know.
It dehydrates.
When,
it really dehydrates, and then
and even if you eat something that you like and you be like, it tastes a bit different. Like morphine affects so much.
It does. It really does.
Yeah, and
it really does.
as well as that's a whole deeper conversation, but affects our nerves and all of these things. But we can go to these foods because one is attached to our childhood as well. These kind of foods are what we see as the comfort foods.
Yes.
But we have to break that. We have to break that whole pattern, and because that's not comfort, that's uncomfortable, because it's going to make you in more pain, more discomfort, less energy, less sleep. All of these foods, these ultra processed foods, these trans fats, it ruins sleep. And it's gonna be an ongoing cycle until you make that decision and realize, okay, I do want to change.
I'm,
I was laughing at his expression.
I'm not surprised, honestly, because
I was laughing at his expression.
just like I said, when Shane came the last time, we touched on all these things and these ultra processed foods and foods that are made like on a quick foods.
Yeah.
Quick foods.
Mm-hmm.
Things that are made convenient foods. Yeah, you know. But I find though, do you think the foods that you're given while in hospital for when during the hospital stay, they are healthy foods? Because
why do you have to go there?
No, I'm just wondering.
You know the truth. Why do you have to go there?
Mostly tasteless.
Yeah.
They don't have too much taste, and then we're forced not to even eat it, and if instead get something from outside. Yeah. You know,
that's a big problem. But again, everything's budget, right? So they think, okay, cool, this is what's going to be the cheapest thing, but still fill you up. However, it's not fueling you.
But that's hospital.
I know. And when you even ask that question, you got to think about there's certain hospitals that have McDonald's in them. You go to Costa and you're gonna see cheese sandwiches, toasties with
sausage, processed meat, bacon,
all of these things that we know are linked to cancers, but
they're selling it in hospital.
So it's all
about the money.
Deeper conversation.
It's a vicious cycle, you know. It's terrible.
They're not feeding you to heal you.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they're feeding us to keep us there.
I mean,
or to be longer.
I don't want to have no enemies.
I understand.
That's a good one. They're not feeding you to heal you. No, I'm always learning something. You know, I feel like I need to be jotting down some stuff. You know.
Yeah. Do you got your pen?
No.
Okay. We talked about a lot of ultra processed foods and things like that.
Yeah.
Are there any proteins that we need to adopt in our diet that it's healthy, or is it the way it's cooked?
Sorry, can I ask something? What do you mean by are they healthy proteins? Are there some proteins that are not healthy?
No, we've heard about we've heard from him about chicken. The way
when I say proteins that are unhealthy, it's what else is attached to. So if it's going to be, let's say you're going to get that protein from a steak, protein is going to be protein. But if you're going to get it from a way that's produced in high amount of oil,
mass production,
mass production, like consistently overused oil. Let's say you can go to the chicken shop and get a chicken burger, right? We know that's got protein in it, but you have to ask, how often is that oil being used? Is it so there's a way of producing oil has something called hexane in it, which isn't the healthiest, but then you got to think about what else you're eating that protein with, and how you're combining it with certain other food groups. So protein is protein, but in terms of getting that protein in, you want to look at certain food sources that are going to have less byproducts. And the byproducts of what I mean when I say that is basically the repercussions of eating that protein.
Of course, yeah.
So you can eat a healthier source of protein that's going to have less repercussions on your body.
It's weird. There's a very popular fast food brand that I know now that we love as a child. We all love as a child. I know we all know what we're talking about here. However, I eat that now and I feel so bad in myself inside. I had to stop.
Because of what he's done to us.
No. Even before that, even before I knew about a lot of the things Shane said the last time, every time I eat that, I feel like it doesn't digest. I feel like it doesn't digest, and I feel like when it comes out, it doesn't come out right neither.
Right.
You get what I mean?
What do you mean if it comes out? What are you talking about?
Yes, when you expel your food has to digest first, and then the byproducts of the food will come out.
How did we get here? We're just talking about food and protein and eating. How did we get to expel it?
Expel is part of the whole. Is a healthy part of your body.
Yeah, but the main thing that you say there as well, I think, is about listening to your body.
Yeah,
our bodies communicate with us in so many different ways.
I had to stop.
And it's about knowing. Like I work with certain clients who, over time, they even before working with me, they're like, you know what? I've noticed that when I drink this type of drink or eat this type of food, I feel less energy throughout the day or less sleep. Me, myself, when I used to have a lot of ultra-processed food, like packet biscuits, I won't say no names, but it was coated in chocolate and granola.
We all know the name now. Coated in chocolate. I know the name now.
All of these things that I used to dive into it and have packets of it. The day afterwards, I would find that even with the similar amount of sleep that I'm having, I have less energy. So I'm testing myself. I'll be like, is that right? So I'll try it again and again, and it's always the same result.
Always the same thing.
It's about listening to our bodies.
Okay.
Sure.
If I listen to my body, I won't be eating. Maybe I should start doing that so I can lose weight.
No, we don't want to fear factors on people. For sure, we don't want people to fear foods, but it's just about better choices,
The thing with women is, if you say they need to lose weight, it's a problem. But she said it openly, and she was very happy about it as well.
You're calling me fat?
Isn't that something? Let's move forward.
You just called me fat.
Let's move forward. Number 4.
You called me fat.
Number 4.
Well, no, I didn't call her fat. We can VT it back. We can rewind it. You will see that I didn't call her fat. So let's just move forward, please, everyone. All right, thank you. Hannah, stop doing your face like that because we're very serious right here. It's a very serious topic. How can caregivers encourage children or teens with sickle cell disease to eat well, especially during low energy periods?
Encourage them. Okay, so I'm actually doing a class tomorrow with some kids, so it's going to be in Peckham, and certain ways of encouraging youngsters to eat healthier would be to also join them as well. Like literally go on that same pattern with them, and if they don't like it, then you're trying something new with them again. And when it comes to low energy, we got to think about what's actually going to fuel us, what's actually going to give us energy. It's not going to be, I shouldn't have mentioned brands, right?
No.
Okay. It's not going to be sports drinks or what's called energy drinks. That's going to give you that energy that you really need. It's going to be vegetation. It's going to be proper foods as well. Even certain animal products, but ones that are not just organic, but sourced from a place that is from someone you trust as well.
Yeah.
So you're not getting all those things sprayed on it and all of those kind of stuff. But when you break these foods down to its minimal products of what it actually is, it's not got a lot of stuff in there.
Okay.
So you're looking at if you're going to be energy, you're looking at raw beets. If you want real energy
for children,
actually there are some beets and vegetable juice that are really good.
Yeah.
But then when your kids stop eating at home, just know it's your fault.
How did we get there? Please, Shane, continue.
Yeah, so join in with them and, allow them to actually experiment with certain things. So give them a list of healthy food. Don't just say, this is exactly what you got to eat.
Yeah.
Give them a list. Okay, cool. They can pick this out. Okay, what do you want to pair this with? All right, let's go in the kitchen and let's actually try this out. And they can get it. If they've not got a lot of energy, they might not get involved. But if they are able to, the whole process of them getting involved with the creation of the meal is going to create a memory. And it's going to give them a skill that they know, oh, I'm now capable of doing something.
Yes.
So it's going to be a continuation.
I smiled there because I had the privilege of being able to travel to Bali last year, and we had cooking lessons with our kids. Once I had the cooking lessons, we had to go to the farm to pick the we went to the farm, picked everything we were going to use, whether it be the carrots, the ginger, everything that was going to be used to be produced. Yes. And then you bring it back and you prepare everything together. My kids love that.
Really?
That's good.
My kids enjoy that. In fact, I enjoy that.
Yeah.
And I'm not the biggest cook. In fact, I'm not a cook. I don't cook.
So how did you enjoy it?
I'm terrible. If my wife can see this now, she'll say, yes, he is bad. Yeah, but I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. But yeah, just having that experience with them was really good. So I know that when you get children a part of the process and tell them that, this is good for you, and you get them involved in things. I think that's the best way of that's the best way of doing that. So that's great.
Do that, and even if you have the space, if you don't have a garden or whatever, you can grow things on your window ledge. And when they have their energy, they're putting love into that. When they don't have the energy, you know that you're still getting from whatever they put in. You'd be like, oh, remember, this is whatever. This is why we planted this.
Okay.
We have in these moments of when you're not feeling the best. And just getting them involved in the process.
That's good.
That's fantastic.
Good. So there are cultural or regional foods that can be adopted to suit us, but are there specific ones that meet our nutritional needs with someone living with sickle cell, of course?
Cultural and regional. In terms of regional, I mean, I can dive more on cultural because we know the places that our parents are from.
Exactly. I was about to say, just if it's personal to you, just use that example.
So, for instance, my mum being from St. Lucia, I know that when she comes back, she's gonna bring not only like coconut oil and castor oil and these things, but also moringa seeds and mangoes, and if she's able to, coconuts and certain hard foods. So with the hard food, you don't want to always be eating it, but when you do eat it, if you're getting it from a place that is grown in the sun, it's going to be better for you. I get my CMOS delivered from St. Lucia for certain times when my mom goes there, or my aunt.
Little plug, he does CMOS and it's fantastic. You can actually freeze it for a long period of time as well, and it comes out just as fresh. You can put it in your smoothies, your drinks, and it'll be amazing. And your fruits as well, some fruits as well. But sorry, keep going.
No, I appreciate that plug for sure. All of those kind of things there that we know that are fueled by the sun. That's when it comes to, our culture and these kind of foods there. Just CMOS, incorporating CMOS, but making sure it's real as well. There are some people who are growing fake CMOS, unfortunately, in pools.
So your one is from St. Lucia.
Yes.
Okay.
You can actually grow CMOS in the pool.
Yeah, you can grow it in a pool, and it will look very similar. Wow. The only thing is the micronutrients within it is going to be lacking because the sun's not touching it. Of course, it's not in a water where it can touch certain coral and all of these kind of things. So
that's an eye opener.
Yeah, definitely is. Definitely is.
I'm definitely coming to get your CMOS now.
Wow. We've spoken a lot about, the types of foods, ultra processed foods, lifestyle really, and how to manage our lifestyle while eating what is right for our bodies. So we're gonna move forward a bit more to, things in relation to what is emerging in research out there, what we can get from a professional insight. I must say, Shane has had to go back to learn about a lot of these things through a lot of sheer personal knowledge, sheer research, and at the moment he's actually gone back to uni, to become certified as a nutritionist who specializes in, I guess, people from BAME community, for instance, so big ups to you for that, by the way, very well done for that, from where I've known Shane for a very long time now, and where a lot of people didn't expect, us to get past a certain age or to do certain things. This is really good to be able to see someone,
Go to his, when you go to his Instagram and TikTok, you see him traveling everywhere.
In fact, just look at him. Look at him looking fitter, nicer, more shinier these days, really looking so well. So he's not accredited, but he's getting there. So a lot of this knowledge he's learning as well while he's in uni and also for his business. So are there any recent studies or findings linking diet and improved outcomes in sickle cell or in sickle cell care?
So in sickle cell in general, there aren't too many, but there are going to be a lot that's coming out because there are many sectors and subsectors, even within the NHS, that are doing really, really big things when it comes to research in diet and its impact on sickle cell. I mentioned Dr. Claudie Matthews. There's a few. Dr. Arna. So he's doing some big things as well in terms of research and even cannabinoids. How it affects sickle cells and how long it affects sickle cells. So definitely keep tuned and keep on the lookout for a lot of peer review studies and a lot of things. It's about what you can do in your time as well to look out for certain papers. But there's not many. We already know sickle cell is really underfunded.
Yes, that's right.
A lot of the work that I do myself, first started on myself, as well, and then now I'm working with other clients who I'm coaching. It's all about looking at their blood work and reading from their blood work. And so I'm collating as much evidence as I can to then go to the NHS and be like, look, this is working. How about we try a program like this? It's about what we can do in our individual fields as well. And in terms of the new research as well, it's not quite sickle cell related, but it's got to do with the viscosity of the blood, which is the thickness.
Oh, okay.
There's something out there, if you research on certain antioxidant called triterpenes.
Okay.
And you can get that in a certain mushroom, reishi, for instance.
Okay.
There's a lot of research on chaga as well, and its high levels of melanin and how it affects the blood flow. You know, so by looking at these other researches, you can then go to putting it in another field with sickle cell, because you know, okay, cool, yeah, sickle cell is a blood flow issue.
Yeah.
So then you can start to run certain tests, and then when you know that information, you can then dive deeper and be like, okay, triterpenes and sickle cell, and or how it affects certain blood flows. But yeah, there needs to be a lot more research. Way more, because it's sickle cell. Yeah,
we know.
I mean, there's a lot to be done. I didn't even understand half of the thing he said. I was just nodding.
But
the grammar.
I was going to ask about that as well. Before we move forward, way too past it, you mentioned cannabinoids. What are those?
So it's basic. So we have receptors in our mind, in our brains, that are linked to certain cannabinoids. Cannabinoids are, you know, when in terms of talk about cannabis.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about the smoked form of cannabis.
You mean ganja?
Pretty much, but the medicinal
smoke
form.
Ganja.
The medicinal form. I'm not telling anyone to go out there and smoke.
That's all I'm hearing. You can smoke ganja and you'll be okay. That's all I'm getting.
What I deal with all the time.
I don't condone that.
I don't know where he said smoke ganja. I don't know where that came from.
He didn't say cannabis. I'm hearing ganja in my brain.
Okay.
That's how it works.
It's your brain then. All right then.
Yeah.
Sorry, let him continue, please.
And like even the cannabis oil, certain CBD oils, you know, when it's the high concentration of the actual cannabis and they take the oil out, and it can actually work wonders, not just for sickle cell, but also for sleep. But just like anything, too much of anything isn't good. You know, and you're going to find certain side effects. But the endocannabinoid system is something that's worth researching for yourself as well, to see how it's affected and how our skin color as well, in terms of like the people who look like us, how we utilize it differently compared to people who don't. But yeah, there's certain receptors in our brains that are easily accessible when it comes to ingesting certain cannabinoids that are going to increase our well-being.
Wow. That's fantastic.
That's good. I've been given permission to use cannabis.
It wasn't by me.
Again, thank you. It wasn't by Shane. Nobody looked him up for that.
So moving forward, do you think there's enough awareness in the medical field about how nutrition affects sickle cell management?
I don't think there is specifically, to be honest. There's not, because the amount of people who I am in talks with, some people who I don't even coach, but they want consultations, they get consultations done and we got a plan out for them. I asked them, has the doctor ever brought up anything in terms of what you eat and how it affects? Like over 90% of the people saying no.
Yeah, they hardly do.
Yeah, even me myself, like I was never one that was told I should be careful of what I eat. In fact, when I was younger, I was told, if I don't have an appetite, just snack on things. And that can be quite detrimental. So there's definitely not enough research or insight. And I'm not blaming the healthcare professionals at all, because when you can even Google it, how much learning goes into someone who's practicing to be a doctor when it comes to nutrition. Those hours are minimal over the many years of what they're learning. So they don't really get taught about nutrition because the field that they're going in is more about chemicals. And it's about what they can put together that's going to alleviate someone's suffering. Now, I'm not going to judge anyone and say, you know, that they're doing things the wrong way, because they've been learning
a certain way.
That kind of specific way. But in terms of for sickle cell, there's not enough spoken about when it comes to diet. And I as I said, I could put money on it. There's going to be things that come out that closely link the volume of sickle cell crisis to what you eat. I can put money on that.
I wonder if it's not because they know about this, the doctors, or if it's because they're just they just want to treat the symptoms that present in the hospital, and they don't have time to do other things or other shenanigans that comes with this
I get what you
cell.
mean, because at the end of the day, you go to the hospital because you want care quickly. And what you're presented with is the only thing that you're going to be treating when it's an emergency.
And they're presented with so many people through the space of
there's no time for them to dive into telling me how to manage, because I think that it will be good if they actually allocate some nurses before you go home to give you advices
or nutrition.
But we're still talking about low staffing and there's no time.
It's so true. I even spoke with an elderly lady who has sickle cell. She's in her 70s, and she said when she was younger, before she would come out of hospital, there would be a plan like that. They would allow her to stay in hospital and wean off of the morphine before coming out. Now,
that used to happen before. It's not the same anymore.
Now they just want you to go
now
home.
They just want to get
the next person from A&E to the bed. And it's just
it's a big change, and you know, that consistent cycle of in out is going to be worsened if the more morphine you have. Because when you're going to be taking that out of your system, it comes with so many side effects.
It's even more painful.
Right.
Yeah, it's even more painful.
It's a catch-22.
It's this sickle cell thing. You know, when you talk about it, when you talk about morphine, and you've just had, like the last time you were in hospital, you had like weeks of morphine, and is it PCA? You were on PCA, right? PCA. And you had to inject yourself with so much morphine, and you're going home, you're trying to wean yourself off of that, then you have to go back again the next week. So it's never a time for you to actually stop, reset, and continue. It's always on that mode all year round.
That's a good thing you mentioned, for sure. And I feel like what's helped me and the people I work with is lowering the amount that you realize actually touches the pain. So, for instance, speaking from my personal story, when I used to go in MDU A&E, my dose was 7.5. I drastically not drastically, slowly.
It takes time.
Started lowering it 6.5, 5.5, and I realized, actually that's still touching the pain. So the more I was lowering it, the more I was returning to hospital. The times when I was returning to hospital, it would be like 2.5 now.
2.5. That is nothing compared to the
but
pain, no?
But that's what I'm saying. Because
he's built.
You practice within your body. You see what you're actually capable of. Once you notice that, once you lower it incrementally, small by small, your body still recognizes it as something that you're putting in your body to actually help with.
At least you had a lot of discipline and you had a lot of patience to do that. But sometimes when you're managing this kind of pain, the last thing you're thinking of, lower it. The best is increase it. Give me more.
In fact, the doctors will tell you to increase it. In fact, they will discourage you from reducing it.
So it's like, give me.
That's why you got to put a baseline. So my baseline was, when it was at my lowest, it was 2.5 to 7.5, just in case.
Exactly. If you needed to.
A really bad crisis, I can still opt for the 7.5.
Then you gradually come back to 2.5.
Exactly.
Which is the lowest, no?
They can go lower, but it might have an argument or two with the people who are doing it. But
okay.
It is. It's so, what you talk about, the process of taking the morphine out is called withdrawals, and withdrawing from morphine can be extremely time consuming and painful.
What do you mean by time consuming?
It takes a long time. You can't do it drastically because it might have adverse effects on your body.
So you have to start dealing with other effects.
So it might even bring back a crisis quicker than you could ever.
Then you just have to go back.
And then you now start from and then it takes even longer again to start again. So
don't bother,
the process can be
just
that's not what I'm saying.
Just be an addict. Don't bother. Just keep at it. So.
And I said that for her. Please don't listen to. I don't have much. Please don't listen to advice from Anna like that, please. Thank you very much. You know, nobody's an addict here. Thank you. Wow. Oh my God. Okay. As we round up this interview and this podcast episode with Shane Telemacque. We just want to say thank you again for coming on board. Really appreciate you.
Yes.
What's one common myth or understanding or misunderstanding about diet and sickle cell that you'd like to correct?
A common myth. So I've had a few discussions with people who do have sickle cell, and they've seen not only my transformation, but the people who I'm working with transformation, and they will see and question, are you sure it's not other things that you changed
that allowed that crisis? Other things like what?
Like lifestyle, keeping warmer, doing less stress, all of these things. And I tell them they go hand in hand with the diet.
Okay. Okay.
But what I find, and I'm going to be brutally honest, is some people don't want to let go of their habits. And of course, that's okay, because when I was starting, I didn't just start straight away.
Yeah.
It took me time. You have to be ready. But you can be honest with yourself. I'm not ready yet to let go of the habit of eating these type of things. But I'm going to make gradual steps.
Yeah.
And it's all about those small steps. So the myth would be that these packets of, no labels, these packets of ultra processed chocolate coated in a shell is not going to add to the crisis that I'm having. It will do. It 100% will do. The more you're eating these things, because we know that it doesn't break down well in the body. The body doesn't recognize all these colors, these E numbers, all of these things that it has to get rid of just to get to the source of nutrition. The more ingredients that you have on a packet, the more your body has to work to actually break down what you're putting inside of it to get some sort of nutrition from it. So that myth, I would say, in terms of like me eating these foods aren't going to add to the crisis.
So is it a case that we can't have chocolate anymore or cookies anymore or things like that?
So even with chocolate, you can look for a healthier source.
Oh, please don't shake your head. I'm being realistic here. This is what I like. I can't lie about it. I love cookies.
I can't believe this.
Right, but even with those things as well, you can be more regiment to the form of knowing that you can make it. You can ask your missus, okay, one time let's actually start formulating some desserts for after dinner.
Yeah, of course.
But when you're looking at chocolate, look for a higher percentage of cocoa.
Yes,
higher cacao.
Yes.
You know, so you know that in that piece of chocolate there's minimal ingredients.
Okay.
And, when you go into an off license, all those chocolates that you see on that shelf, minimal amount of chocolate in it. Like there was a study, not even a study, there was a report that came out recently saying that certain of these big name chocolate brands, they can no longer say that this is chocolate. This is chocolate flavored.
Wow.
Because of the low percentage of chocolate that's going into it.
Wow.
And that's for money.
Yeah, of course.
So now they have to formulate something in a lab to make it taste like chocolate. So they can't actually say.
I'm not surprised.
This is chocolate anymore.
When they're growing meat in labs. So what's chocolate that they can't grow? So
exactly. So
I'm not surprised.
When you do want those kind of snacks, it's about you making your own thing or go into a healthier source, and you're going to be paying a bit more, but your body's going to be grateful towards you.
I guess that's why all this foods that is naturally grown. But what they call them in the organic are more expensive, right?
It shows that Jaden doesn't care about organic. He doesn't even know what it's called.
I mind you, just because I can't think about the name right now, don't mean I don't use it.
He's trying to demonstrate
what I put in all my smoothies and juices. You've not told me one thing you've actually changed since you've been listening.
Did you hear what he said? You have to be ready. He said you have to be. I need to be honest. He said you have to be ready, because right now
you're not ready. So why are you trying to then put something up? I don't understand. I'm actually implementing what he said. You're doing nothing and you're there pointing fingers.
He said you need to be ready. I'm only doing what he said. When I'm ready, I'll let you know.
But one thing I'll say is, in terms of people that do want to start, but they don't want to take things out, just add something healthy one day out of the week. Like make a little change. And coming back to the question of misunderstanding, I know we was talking about diet as well, but even misunderstanding in terms of sickle cell is that, okay, cool, you present to the hospital with a new problem. Oh, it must be sickle cell.
I know. Oh, that's very common. That's very common.
You know, things can be overlooked because someone has sickle cell.
Because they have sickle
so
cell.
once you come in, it has to be crisis.
It has to be crisis
and they start
related.
treating for crisis. And once the pain, the symptoms goes away, you go home.
Yeah, but really there could be an underlying issue. And, you know, another misunderstanding is that the person could just be chasing the drugs. That's another misunderstanding. But at the end of the day, of course, there are going to be people that abuse the system, but the majority aren't, you know, and it's about differentiating, like knowing that everyone is an individual, but don't paint everyone with the same brush.
But if you've got sickle cell, the least thing on your mind is abusing it.
Well, not everybody.
No,
not everybody.
Really?
Yes, we know people that I know people that have
abused medication.
In fact, I know someone. But I know two people that abuse my details to get morphine.
Wow.
Or that morphine. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are people out there that do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Touching on what you said about, you know, presenting to hospital, knowing that, look, this doesn't feel like my normal crisis pain. That actually happened to me in my last admission.
Really?
Very, yes, very real. Okay. Until I went back the third time. That's when they actually realized I had pneumonia.
See what I mean?
So you could have died from
Imagine. I could have gone so bad that it affected my lungs and kidneys before they realized it.
And that's the thing.
And it's overlooked.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Time.
So sometimes
they
it's
just
not
thought
just
it was
about
pain.
The symptoms. You have to actually dig deeper to know why they are presenting the way they are presenting.
Exactly. You have to investigate.
Yeah, but also because you know that this is not the kind of pain I feel when I'm in crisis.
Exactly.
You know yourself. You know your body. We have reached the age where you should actually be able to differentiate a little bit.
Yeah, but don't they ask, does it feel like your sickle cell pain? I know they do ask sometimes. When you come in, they say, does it feel like your sickle cell pain?
Not all the time.
So they just go straight away to
They just thought because I had, which I'm going to talk about anyway, because I had a certain procedure, it must be I'm still recovering from that procedure. You understand? Yeah. So they just wrote it up as pain from that procedure causing crisis pain.
So the misconception is the assumption.
Yeah.
It's a major one.
Imagine,
For sure. Imagine. That is something that needs to be
looked at as well. Okay. Amazing.
So thank you so much for coming, Shay. Each time you come, I feel like I have to go back, take pen and paper and start writing things down. But then
you do, because your sugar brain is not allowing you to process things.
But then you make me feel so guilty because every day is my cheat day. And whenever I see you, like today, I tried to offer him some biscuits. Lately, I did that. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do? And so,
yeah, I mean,
you have to be strong.
Yeah, it takes a certain level of determination,
dedication
to know that, you know, okay, cool. From this day, this is day one, but also don't punish yourself for the foods that you eat that. For instance, you may know aren't the best for you.
You can't change everything all at the same time.
Yeah, you have to make tiny.
I like African food.
No,
didn't you hear the question? I did ask something about. This is why that is there. Are there cultural food that I can?
But a lot of African foods are good. Well, yeah, a lot of the foods that you eat are good. It's just the way you prepare it.
Yes.
Learn something, Anna.
The way you prepare it is why it's good.
Oh wow, okay then.
Like the oils and stuff, like it's the same in the Caribbean households as well. You know, we're addicted to oily foods.
You know, because that's why it's good, no?
the jerkiness.
And that's what again. That's linked to like just again cultural stuff, but certain things and certain studies will be like, okay, is it inherited? I mean, the habits are inherited.
Yeah.
Because that's what you grew with. Yeah.
And then you might get the same illness that, you know, your parents or grandparents might have had.
It's in the name, inherited blood condition, sickle cell.
That's not from household though. Jaden, what school did you go to?
What are you talking about? That is household.
Inherited is from the gene. Not from
is the gene from not from your household, no?
Oh my God.
Am I lying? The gene is from your household. So why are you trying it for?
Honestly, I'm sure Shay wants to go.
Let's
At this point, he wants to just jet out of here because literally, what Jaden is saying now, he's trying to process it. Like, what's he on about? Inherited disease from the household food before you jet out.
I'm joking.
Yeah. If you could give one piece of nutritional advice to someone living with sickle cell, what would that be?
Just the one piece. Okay, I would say.
Or you can add one more.
Okay, let today be the Christmas. You can add 3.
You can add, okay.
So I would say focus on how you're breaking your fast. Like the first thing in the AM, like the first meal.
I was about to say, I didn't say that was fasting. I was wondering what the hell.
No,
I'm sorry.
The first meal you're going to be having, make sure it's fueling you in a way that, let's say, if you like fruits, you like melons, go for a honeydew melon. The high water based. It's got a lot of antioxidants in it. It's a good source of potassium. All of these things. So, for instance, when we get out of our sleep, our body's still going through a detox period. So you don't need. We've been fooled, by marketing, thinking that we need that heavy breakfast with the bacon, the sausage, the eggs, the burger, the beans, the toast, the butter. That's too much, especially as soon as you get up. Some people, they get up, they start their fry up.
That's why you get up. That's the motivation for getting up.
This one gets up and has pounded jam.
That's the motivation for getting up.
Imagine.
Did you actually believe him? He looked at me, that's a straw. He was advising me, that is a straw. Did you believe him? I don't even eat pounded jam.
But yeah, so it's about how, okay, so that's the first one in terms of how you break your fast. The second, I would say iron source, so folate. So, for instance, we've been told to take folic acid. Folate is the natural form of folic acid, basically. As long as you don't have iron overload, you don't have something called hyperkalemia, which is too much potassium, incorporate beets into your diet. And you can juice those beets. And when you juice those beets, keep the fiber. That fiber will then be in the fridge or the freezer for a smoothie either the day after or days afterwards. But fuel your body with iron and things that are going to give your cells life, oxygen, energy, all of that. But make sure you add some key limes or lime or lemon to it because it changes its molecular structure and it's easier to absorb. That's the second one. I would say 3, to your limits, see what kind of exercises you can do because the lymphatic system is something that's really, really overlooked. So the lymphatic system is how we expel the junk from our bodies, from what we eat. If you're always stagnant, if you're always sitting down, there's been studies that show people that even go to the gym, and I'm not saying
that's what she does all day. She just sits on her bum.
There's even studies that show that people that go to the gym, my life will end. Okay, yeah, that people that go to the gym, if they have a very sedentary lifestyle afterwards, compared to people who are on their feet a lot or don't go to the gym, they have better cardiovascular system, they have less thick blood, and they have better blood pressure, cholesterol levels, all of these things. Because when we're stagnant, we're just chilling and we're just sitting down, that is a big problem.
Soft life.
Yeah.
No, enjoy the soft life.
So we have to get moving to get the lymphatic, the lymph moving so we can actually take these stuff out of ourselves. Yeah.
So,
I knew he was going there.
Sorry, before you finish up.
Yeah.
So what they say when they say, if you are feeling pain, for instance, rest.
Yeah.
Is that wrong or is that?
No, I mean, because at the end of the day, each to their own and your own limits again. So when you are in sickle cell crisis, the last thing you want to do is be jumping up.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But once you are,
is that what you do?
I don't get it.
Okay.
Why did you ask that question? I really want to know what's in your head. When you are having pain, what do you do?
Sometimes it's not the best thing to lay down and be sleeping.
Sometimes, so it depends on.
Sometimes you sleep too much.
Pain.
Yeah.
So if you are in severe amount of pain, of course, recover and take your time with it. But if you can get moving, do a little walk. You don't have to do so
with the
excessive.
pain.
Yeah,
Yes.
if you can, that's the thing. Because again, that's going to get blood flow going. That's going to encourage blood flow.
She's never had priapism, that's
when
why.
you have
You sit down with that.
you sit down with that.
Can you explain what that is?
Priapism.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank God I've not experienced that myself either, but it can be, it's males, basically, when you have a consistent crisis within your manhood. So, you know, and there's been things that can alleviate it, sitting in a hot bath, but you shouldn't stay with it for so long.
Yeah.
Because you should get
walking up and down the stairs is better than sitting in a hot bath. You don't want to sit in a hot bath, trust me. You don't want to do that.
There's some studies that show that it increases the circulation, but I get what you're saying in terms of movement.
Okay,
the more you move, the more you're encouraging blood flow.
Yeah,
so when it comes to sickle cell crisis, when you can, and when it's not too severe, getting moving is going to help with your blood flow. And we already know sickle cell crisis is
when it's clogged.
That is wicked.
Oh wow. Well, we don't mean to be wicked here. We're trying to be practical about things, you understand, and help in the best way possible. You know what I mean? Because always laying down and sleeping for the whole day is definitely not the best thing for anyone. You know, no matter how much pain you're in. If you don't get up to use the toilet or, you know, do those things, you are going to be in a worse off way.
Yes.
You understand? Yeah. So, Anna, you try. You just sleep the whole day without getting up and using the toilet and all that. All right? I'll leave you to that. You just come back to me with the news. Okay? And let me know how you feel when you finish that exercise. All right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shane. I know that this was really long coming. We tried to reschedule so many times and people's schedules and then, you know,
life happened.
Yeah. But thank you so much for coming back. We really appreciate it.
For reaching out, man. I appreciate it. And just a quick plug as well. I'm going to be having an event June the 18th. If you want to know more details about it, it starts at 3 p.m. But if you want to know the actual address, DM me. I will send you where you can get tickets. It's free tickets, by the way, but you have to register because limited spaces.
Okay.
It's going to be everything sickle cell, well-being, and showing the science behind certain things that we spoke today and even more in depth.
Fantastic.
And
Shane's details are going to be in our bio. It's going to be in the description. Also going to splash on the screen, you know, as well for you to see. Our details remain the same as well. Sickle Cell Warriors Health in Color Pod and Health in Color Pod for YouTube. Any last things to say, Hannah?
Only make sure you follow us, like, share, and stay tuned. And we're going to be collaborating with Shade. So just in case you're not able to get him, so you can just click on his bio and follow him as well. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for joining us as normal. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Keep tuning in, keep liking, keep subscribing, and share as much as you can to someone who knows will need this information or just wants to have a laugh. All right?
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah. Bye.